All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Athenian Stranger tutorial video where today we're going to be solving all the problems from Builder 3. Starting with number 1. What is the reciprocal of negative 2 over x, assuming x is not 0? Okay, the reason we're assuming x is not 0 is for the fact that if x were 0, the expression would be undefined. Okay, anything divided by 0 is undefined. So we have to exclude 0 from the set of possible solutions. And so what we're going to do is just write negative 2 over x. Now, the reciprocal means just flip it, right? So first, let's just do that. Let's exchange the top for the bottom. Okay, Tori, what should I write if I'm going to flip it? X over negative 2. What we really do with this negative sign is just pull it out front. It doesn't really go with the top or the bottom. And at the same time, it kind of goes with the top. But it always stays with the top. So whatever the number, whatever you do, it kind of stays with the top. So now we have negative x over 2. Now, that's partly a correct answer. If you put that, that's fine. But what number should I put in front of the x? A 1. Okay. Now, do you guys understand that I can pull this negative 1/2 away from the x, and I can write this as negative 1 over 2x? These are equivalent expressions. So negative x over 2 equals negative 1/2 x. So I'm indifferent about which one of these answers you give. However, the harder one to do, as you might expect, the harder one to do is the one that's going to be needed most often. So if you want to put something down in your brain, do that one. Okay. Moving on. Number 2. Oh my. Just looking at it, I'm scared and bored. At this, I'm like bored and terrified. That's what math is like. It's like being terrified, but also being bored to death. Yes? Okay. Here we go. That's our first step. Draw that vertical line. For some reason, that, it's like making your bed in the morning. So what should we do next? Distribute. We're going to distribute 7 over 21 to both terms. Well, 7 over 21 can be simplified. Yeah, it can be simplified. What can I simplify it to? Bahaba. What? 1 over 3? Okay, so now distribute 1/3 to x. What do you get? Yeah, don't overthink it. It's just 1/3 x. So here's our new fraction. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. How about 1/3 times 3? You're going to multiply the 1 times the 3. It's just 1, right? So if you're kind of confused about that, it's 1 over 3 times 3 over 1 equals 3 over 3. And that cancel. It's just 1. Okay, so we can write 1/3 x plus 1. Bring down that minus 4. Minus 4 equals, and then we'll just write x over 3 plus 3. Basically, I just rewrote everything else. Excuse the incessant perfectionism. It didn't look much like a 3 to me. Oh, hey. Yes, sir. All right. So now I'm going to group these terms because they're like one another. What is 1 minus 4? Ooh. -3. Good job, Andrew. So let's rewrite 1 over 3x minus 3 equals x over 3 plus 3. What shall I do next? Add 3. Good job, Andrew. I'm going to add 3 on the left. That's it, right? Just add it on the left. Oh, add it on the right as well. Okay, got to keep it in balance. Remember, that's what algebra is literally all about. And then we're going to cancel these out. Now I'm going to bring down this 1/3 x equals x over 3. Good job. Plus 6. Ooh, okay, so now what? Divide. We could subtract 6. Choices, right? There used to be a poster that would have like something and then underneath it said choices. Hey, remember this problem? Remember how we could write negative x over 2 as negative 1/2 x? Looky here, right here. Could I rewrite that as 1 over 3x? Okay, so let's do that step. 1 over 3x equals 1 over 3x plus 6. Now what? Subtract. You want to get the x's together. So I'm going to subtract 1 over 3x from both sides. We're going to run out of room here, but it's like a movie that runs overtime. It's a good movie. Maybe one of the Lord of the Rings movies. You're going to stay for the whole thing. Cancel. What happens here? Oh my gosh, they both cancel. What's left? What on the left side? Good job, Rudy. 0 equals 6. Now it's time to, thank you, Eduardo. It's time to ask the question, does 0 equal 6? No, therefore this is false. You have found a false statement. This must mean that there is, Eduardo, say it, no solution. It always feels like a bit of a letdown. Like, are you telling me that we did all that work only to find out that there's no answer? That's what I'm telling you. Sometimes it'd be like that. Okay. One time I drove 23 consecutive hours in my car into Wyoming to see something called the Red Desert. Guess what? It wasn't red. And guess what else? It wasn't a desert. It was a complete waste of time. There was like some cows and a sign. I thought, I deserve this. The cows were nice. I talked to them for a while. Then I hopped in my car and tried to drive to Canada, but I didn't have my passport, so that didn't work out very well. The Canadian Border Patrol, they educated me on the direction that I would be turning my car. Basically, they kind of brandished their automatic rifles and told me to do a U-turn. Yeah. But they were nice about it because they were Canadian. Okay. Sometime I'll tell you my Border Patrol encounter on the southern border of the United States. And here's a little preview. It didn't go so well. Okay, now let's do number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to add 1/3 to 3/4 to 5/6. I can't do that. Okay? I'm having like a religious experience. I'm so excited. You know, I'm overwhelmed by the fact he said it's got to all equal 12. So he not only recognized that, yes, Andrew, that we need a common denominator, but he found the lowest common denominator would be 12. So we need to do some little surgery. Let me zoom in for the surgery. Okay. What do I need to multiply by 1/3 to make it 12 on the bottom? Remember, 4/4. It's got to be 4/4. Yeah, it's going to be 4/12. We'll go ahead and write it. Good. Now, what do I need to multiply by 3/4? Make sure you say 3/3. And what will it be? Good job, guys. 9/12. This is the OG class. 9/12. How about 5/6? I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it. Okay, and what will it be? 10/12. I'm feeding off y'all's energy. There's energy here, and you're getting these right. I'm so proud of you. Now we can add the numerators. Thank you, Eduardo, for telling us the next step in using proper academic language. What's 4 plus 9? What's 13 plus 10? So we're going to add it. 23/12. Can we write this as a mixed number? Okay. How many times does 12 go into 23? Just one whole time. So we'll write 1, and then it's 11/12, yeah? 1 and 11/12. Now, the teacher didn't tell you which one to put, so it doesn't matter. As long as you know how to do both. Both are right. Great job. Moving on. We're already on number 4 of 6. Solve for y. That's if we were solving for x. Yeah. No. I'm saying to Rudy, if we were solving for x. Andrew said the correct thing. He said we need to distribute. Okay? Yeah, we'll draw the line. But we're going to distribute, okay? Yeah, if I asked you to give me the x-intercept of this, Rudy, you would just turn that y into a 0 and solve for x. Okay, so we're going to distribute. Now, that means we're not going to touch the left side, so we'll just rewrite the left side. Perfect. So I'm going to write y plus 7 equals, and then I'm going to start this distribution with 11/5x. Yeah, now we got to think about this for a minute. I tell you what I do in my head. I'm going to make a side work here, okay? Here's what I'm doing in my head. I'm thinking 10 is really just 5 times 2, okay? So over here in side work, I'm going to say 11 times 5 times 2. That's 11 times 10 over 5. And that allows me to cancel the 5s out. So I just do 11 times 2, 22. Now, if you had some other way to do that and you got it 22, fantastic. Let's move back here. That's that prime factoring at work helping you out. Okay, here we go. I want y by itself. Final step. Okay, everybody said the correct answer, but Rudy said it first. -7. Now these, mark out the 7s. Thank you, Eduardo. Y equals 11 over 5x and now we have to do 22 minus 7. We have to borrow. I hate it. Okay. So we borrow the 2 becomes a 1, this other 2 becomes a 12. What's 12 minus 7? 5. And then 15. So it's the final answer is y equals 11 over 5x plus 15. I don't know how many people in the room could just sit down and bang this problem out and get this answer, but I'm going to tell you something. If you can do this, you are ahead of the game. This is what algebra is all about, okay? So if you felt pretty comfortable with what we just did, big thumbs up. Moving on. Okay. Find the prime factorization of 264. Let me zoom out a little bit. First, let me just over here in side work. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Over here in side work, I'm going to write the first few prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. I shouldn't need to go any further. Maybe, I don't know, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31. I think we probably won't need to go that far. If we do, it's time to break out that calculator and cheat. I'm kidding. Not really. Okay, so Andrew said 264 is an even number, so it's divisible by 2. Can you do it in your head? 132? Yeah. Hey, here's another number ending in 2, so I should be able to divide by 2. 2 goes into 13. 6 times carry the 1. Is it 66? Where's Hayden? He can do this in his head. He's on the phone. What is 132 divided by 2? It is. Okay, then we do a 66 here. Okay, then we break this sucker down. It's still even, so I'm still dividing by 2, and we hit that with the 33. But now I'm at an odd number. So I have to go to the smallest odd prime, which is 3. And have we hit bedrock? Yeah, these are all primes. And you did it. Now I'm going to show you a couple of ways of writing it. And I understand that we're still getting our feet wet on this, so I'm not. If you just do that, guess what? That's going to get you a good grade. But what I want you to write is I want you to write it like this. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 11 equals 264. But then I also want you to recognize that you have 3 2's. It's 2 to the third power times 3 times 11 equals 264. Either one, any of it, all of it, okay? Last problem on the Builder 3. Simplify. Yeah, always a big lie. It always means it's going to be a hard problem. They lie to you. So first, we're just going to distribute this x. I'm going to help a little bit here. We're going to put 1s all over the place. So I'm going to put 1 in front of the x, but I also need to put 1 in the exponent section. Now, over in side work, people, I'm going to have to do side work on the left this time. Over in side work, x to the first times x to the first is x to the 1 plus 1, or x squared, or x to the second power, okay? So that first distribution, x to the first times x to the first, we're just going to write x squared, or x raised to the power of 2. And that's called the product rule, where you add the exponents when the bases are the same. Now, x times y is just xy. There's nothing to do there. We just write x squared plus xy. Okay. Now, Andrew said put a 1 in front of the x. I'm going to tell you right now it's going to help you in this next step to put a 1 in front of the x. So go ahead and put you a 1 there. Bring down plus 3xy minus 5x squared. Now, let's follow Andrew's advice and go put a 1 in front of this x as well. So there's no x's that don't have 1s in front. Okay, now it's time to combine like terms. Now, this term and this term with the sign, those can be combined. We'll combine those over here. Let's do that first. So what's 1x squared minus 5x squared? One x squared minus 5x squared. Say it louder. 100%. Emmanuel, thank you. Negative 4x squared. Negative 4x squared. Okay, now that must mean that these two can be combined. See, this is xy. Guess that means they're common terms. So what's 1xy plus 3xy? 4xy. Plus 4xy. Now, there's one final thing that you can do. So this is fine. Again, there's lots of different ways to answer questions in algebra. This is correct, but OG level math will do this. Put parentheses around this, and notice that each thing has a 4 in front of it. One of them's a negative 4, the other's a 4. We can pull that out using something called factoring. Okay? And here's what it looks like. It looks like reverse distribution. Okay? Watch this. You'll like this. So now I'm going to put a 4 on the outside and an open parentheses. And then I'm going to put negative x squared plus xy. But wait. There's more. You can factor out an x. You see, there's an x here, and there's an x here. This is really negative x times x plus x times y. Okay? So I could factor out an x. This isn't just some kind of curiosity. This is something you will have to do with math problems starting pretty quick. So now it's 4x on the outside, open parentheses, negative x plus y. That is called factoring. So which one's correct? All of them. They're all correct. They're all the same thing. It's just they're different ways of writing it. If you were to distribute this 4x back into the parentheses, you'd end up with this, negative 4x squared plus 4xy. Okay, so that's it for the builder. Listen, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. You know what that means. Merch is on the way.